Hello again. So, we've explored the relationship between desire and fear and the relationship between desire and power. So, you're probably seeing a common thread right now that our relationship to desire and the art of having what we truly want is an inside game. Meaning it's much less about making our desires a conquest that we need to go out and actively pursue, and more about doing the inner alignment work that allows us to become an energetic match and a receptive vessel for inviting that which we desire in. It's a much more feminine approach to receiving our desires. Now, that's not to be confused with woman. I'm talking about the masculine and feminine energies that exist within each of us. And that in itself is an entirely different topic and video, which I'm sure exists somewhere else in my archive of videos. But the condensed version is that the feminine energy that exists within us is the one that inhabits a place of deep trust and receptivity, where it doesn't need to force or effort or manipulate in order to receive its desires, but instead the feminine allows us to just sit and wait in receptivity on the royal, regal nature of our throne. The throne that we all have the ability to reside upon, knowing that we are worthy of receiving what it is that we desire. So the next relationship we are going to explore is the relationship between desire and trust. To be open and receptive to the bigger desires that want to emerge from within us, it is essential that we learn to trust ourselves. And not just trust ourselves, but trust our relationship with the universe, with God, with whatever it is that you believe in. So many of us are walking around guarded, armored against the world because if you're a human being, most likely you've been hurt in some way in this lifetime, either physically, emotionally, psychologically. At some point, you received the message that it wasn't safe to trust, that it wasn't safe to be open. So most likely you cultivated different defense mechanisms to protect you from being hurt again. And while those may have served you up until this point, now you're at a place where you are a different person and you are ready to emerge into a new, evolved, actualized identity that is more powerful, is more wise, is more discerning. And it is essential that we learn to trust ourselves to discern, to know what is good for us, what is meant for us, and what is not right for us. To trust ourselves means to take down our walls, trust our intuition, which in itself is a huge part of the private coaching work that I do with people and is a common thread in all of the groups that I run, is looking at what does it mean to connect with our intuition. So we shift out of a control-based, fear-based, stress, force-driven based of reality creation and attraction and into a more magnetic, easeful way of receiving and creating that is simply you embodying and being a natural expression of who you are. So as we move into the final video of this series, which you will receive tomorrow, I want to invite you to ask yourself and perhaps journal, where do I not trust myself? Where do I perhaps not trust the desires that exist within me? Where am I guarding or protecting myself against the fear of being hurt again? As you do this inner inquiry, it starts to point you in the direction of where there is opening, healing, remembering work to be done so that you aren't pushing away the things that you desire and that instead you are actually trusting yourself to receive and open and expand because you are a new human being than you were when you were first hurt. And so much of this work is about remembering that, letting go of old belief systems and creating new beliefs and stories that support you in being able to have what you truly want. Sink into that, and I'll see you in the final video. Much love.